Anime adaptations to live action are usually pretty hit and miss. In fact, they are all pretty much misses, especially Dragon Ball Evolution. So when Ghost in the Shell, a pretty revered anime movie and series, was announced as the next live action adaptation, the internet acted as you would think. They were all pretty much outraged. Even more outraged when the casting of Scarlett Johansson as the Major was announced. Now with the film out, I think it's safe to say that the live action anime adaptation curse has been beaten. This was one of the best adaptations I have seen. The story doesn't adapt the first film beat for beat, but rather utilizes stories seen in the first film as well as the follow-up films and TV series Standalone Complex and Standalone Complex Second Gig. The villain Kuzo from Second Gig is actually in this film and is seen as the quote-unquote villain. The film interpretations of these characters are also very much spot on. Outside of the Major, we have Bato, played here by Game of Thrones actor Pilo Asbayek. It's pretty much a perfect adaptation of Bato, you know, he down to the little cybernetic eyes. We actually see him get those eyes as well, and he's played by this guy who gets the character so well down to the 80s buzz cut. Takashi Beat Kitano, a well-known Japanese actor, plays Aramaki, the leader of Section 9, the guy who oversees everything, and he plays him pretty well. He has quite a bit of screen time in this, as he's sort of like the one talking with Major and Batu as they go on their missions, and he actually gets some action scenes and a really badass one in a car as well, which I thought was really cool. The only character technically missing from Section 9's team is Togusa, who I think was played by Chin Han's character, who I think was actually named Han. I think he was meant to be him because he looked exactly like him, used the same gun, everything. And I'm kind of upset about that because I always saw Togusa as sort of like the audience seeing this world through his eyes, since he was the only one in the team and everything who wasn't enhanced. He was just a human. The story mixes up different ones from the anime but plays out pretty much like the original film does, with added story of delving into the Major's past and her origins as a shell and as a ghost in the shell. This is something those whitewashing outcries that were coming all through the movie's production and before its release were having. They were going on about Scarlett Johansson can't be Major because the Major is Japanese, even though it's a robotic body, so it can look really whatever it wants to look like. And I think even the creator of the woman who originally voiced the Major in the TV series and the films actually said, like, it doesn't matter, it's a cyborg body, so it doesn't bloody matter that it's a white woman playing this character. And it's actually an integral part of the plot that we actually find out she actually is Major Modoko Kusanagi, which I'm not going to really spoil because it's quite good the way they did it. They even keep a lot of the big action set pieces from the anime and pretty much do them shot for shot, including the famous spider tank scene at the end of the first film, which is basically a shot for shot remake of it. And I was really surprised because I knew that was going to be in the film beforehand, but I thought, they'll probably pussy out at the end and we won't see the Major like using all her strength and get her arm ripped off and everything, but we saw it and it was shot for shot remake, and it was amazing. Rupert Sanders and Jamie Ross did a fantastic job adapting this much loved anime, and I hope this marks the beginning of proper and well cared for adaptations. I'm going to give Ghost in the Shell an 8.5 out of 10.